When we arrived at the scene, the first thing we did was secure the perimeter. We had to make sure that no one contaminated the area, so MWE set up cordon and restricted access.
I started documenting the scene immediately. We took photographs from every angle and made a detailed sketch of the room. The position of the body and the surrounding objects were crucial for our investigation.
Collecting evidence was the next step. We found a bloody knife under the couch, which seemed like the murder weapon. We also collected fingerprints from the doorknobs and other surfaces.
We interviewed the neighbors. One of them reported hearing a loud argument around midnight, which could help us establish a timeline.
Based on the evidence and witness statement, we developed a profile of the suspect. We brought in a few individuals for questioning and are currently verifying their alibis.
It's essential that we follow all legal protocols during this process. Any misstep could jeopardize the case in court.
And of course, we have to be mindful of the victim's family and the community. We need to keep them informed without compromising the investigation. We set up the crime scene tape around the perimeter. Let's make sure no one crosses this line without proper authorization.
I'll station myself at the entry point to check IDs and ensure everyone signs and sign out. Only detectives and forensic teams should be allowed inside.
Good. Make sure they understand the protocols and stay within their designated areas. We can't afford any contamination.
Absolutely. I'll also brief the new team members arriving about the importance of preserving the scene integrity.
And don't forget to log every entry and exit. We need a clear record for the chain of custody. I've found a bloody knife under the couch. I'm documenting its position and taking photographs.
I'll collect it using these tweezers and place it in a rigid container. Don't forget to label it properly.
There's a blood stain on the carpet. I'll collect a wet sample with a sterile swab and place it in a paper envelope after it dries.
I've found some fibers on the victim's clothing. I'll use tweezers to collect them and place each one in a separate paper fold.
I'm lifting fingerprint from the window using powder and tape. I'll place them on a fingerprint card and label it.
Good. Make sure to log everything into the chain of custody form to maintain our records.
I've packaged the blood samples for DNA analysis and labeled them with the unique identifiers. I'll log these into the chain of custody form.
I'll handle the transportation to the lab. The sample are sealed and secured in this locked container. I'll ensure the chain of custody log is signed upon delivery.
I've received the blood samples from Officer 2. The seals are intact, and the chain of custody log is up to date. I'll proceed with the DNA extraction and analysis. We also need toxicology report for the blood samples. Make sure to process those concurrently. Understood. I'll conduct the toxicology screening and confirm any positive results with GCMS. We'll report back with our findings and return the sample with updated documentation.